right, it is that time on a Tuesday night when we bring you How Things Work.
Tonight, it's all about something that is so close to home for those of us in the media.
Tonight, Betty Kyallo reveals what goes on behind the scenes to bring you the news every single day.
Well, this is one all about adrenaline. Betty Kyallo is up next with this week's How Things Work.
They are known as members of the Fifth Estate, working long and odd hours to bring you the news.
Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of KTN News.
Nothing is left to chance.
Stand by, your mic is on.
Facts are our core business. This team of dedicated scribes cover the news and the newsmakers every day. This is no ordinary job.
The time that I had to pose as a gun dealer.
When it's around, maybe from around 4 p.m., that's the time even I don't want a phone call from my wife or my kid because I'm under pressure and the 40 million Kenyans are viewing this story.
Tonight, we take you behind the scenes of the KTN Newsroom, one of the busiest newsrooms in East and Central Africa, on How Things Work. If you thought the political season was over, well, before this, there is a world of teamwork, effort, and hours put into bringing you that story that affects many lives around the country, across the world. It all starts here. This is the Newsroom. Here you find news editors, video editors, reporters, anchors, camera journalists, computers, and more computers. A day in the newsroom begins early morning. Editors, who are basically the people who plan the stories that will be executed on a particular day, hold an editorial meeting. Here, they brainstorm and share ideas on different angles of the stories that will be part of the news bulletins.
The reporters come, you tell the reporter, like, Betty, okay, today you're following this story, it's happening at this time. Make sure you get these news sources or that news sources or these particular supporting documents for the story. Then you send out the reporters. When they're out gathering the stories, the news editor keeps in touch with them to know the updates of the stories as the reporters are out there, because you don't have to wait for them to come back and tell you what has happened. When they get back to the newsroom, you as the news editor will have planned exactly what is going on air at 1 p.m., what's going on air at 4 p.m., what's going on air at 7 p.m., what's going on air at 9 p.m.
In the field, always you have your angle of the story, how you want to pursue it. So, and you always want to have the best. You really don't want to have the angle that your competition is having. So you always have to move at a notch higher. You want to ask a question that will make news.
News is gathered through different avenues. It can be through a rally, a press conference, an exclusive interview, or sometimes breaking news, which is basically news that was not anticipated or planned for. From the field, it's back to the newsroom. Here, the reporters are advised on how to angle their stories, after which they begin their scripting. This is at the heart of storytelling. Around this time, tension is building, a race against time. Every minute counts.
So at that time, the newsroom is very, very tense, especially just before 1 o'clock news, just before 4 o'clock or 7 p.m. You know, that hour or so before the newsroom is a very, very crazy place. And that's when people are most aggressive. That's when somebody is likely not to greet you back if you say hello, because they have their own problems. The editor, the editor of the day, I'm breathing down the reporter's neck. The news director is breathing down the reporter's neck, wants everything from the reporter. The video editors are very busy. People are competing for space to edit their stories fast and quickly. And also time is running out on you.
The script thereafter passes through a line of editors who verify information and add their input to ensure the script is of high quality, factual, and does not feature any defamatory statements.
So it's about getting the right pictures, the right up sounds that tell the story best, you know, and getting time in a suit. So you have to get time to capture all that, to edit it, all in time, because you're not the only story in the suit. There are like 8-10 other stories. There's several other reporters. So
This is what an edit suite looks like. No room for time wasting.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
The video editors work together with the reporter to put together the picture and audio in a sequence to relay the intended information that in the end becomes the story you see on TV. It's not always easy and smooth.
Take. They say that I've take.
There really is a lot that goes into doing a piece like How Things Work or any other piece that we do on KTN. For instance, a story like this will take you an average of 3 days to shoot, probably 2 cards to fill, which is about 264 minutes worth of footage that you have to go through to package a 5 to 8 minute story.
After the story is edited, it is downloaded onto a tape or sent to a server, which the news directors can access from the studio gallery. Then it is ready to be aired. And that is what goes on behind the scenes to bring you the news. Next week on How Things Work.
Okay, director, we are ready. Coming to you in 1.5 minutes time. Are you ready? Are you set?
We showcase what goes on behind the scenes when it comes to news presentation.
I don't think there's any production that goes on air without the goofs. If people were able to see what happens behind the scenes, you'd be surprised.
Understanding the stories, that's the most important thing, because you're communicating. It's a camera, yes, but there's millions of people behind that camera.
Betty Kyallo, How Things Work.
A very nice piece there by Betty Kyallo on how things work. At least you have an idea of how we get here and how you get to see what you see on air.
Right. So next week it continues.
Yes.
That's the best part.